Hey guys, I'm very excited to announce my very first Chrome extension. It's called the Monolingual WordReference, and what it does is that it hides the native text within WordReference, and it only shows the monolingual definitions. So you can toggle it back and forth like this, and if you need help, you can just click on the native language definitions. And yeah, the purpose of it is to really give you a complete monolingual experience within the site. Since the native definitions are right next to the monolingual definitions, it kind of feels like cheating, and it really dilutes the power of monolingual definitions. Learning a language in the language itself helps you to become very proficient in the language because you get to use and understand words in the same way that natives do. This is live on the Chrome Web Store, and if you want a very detailed rundown of every single setting, because there's a lot of settings right here, then click on one of these corners and you'll be sent to the official overview video, and it's only 3 minutes long, so I suggest you watch it. This video isn't going to be as edited as my previous ones because it'll mostly be speaking off of bullet points, and you'll get to hear about my design philosophy, my overall intentions of it, and really the future plans of it. For those who don't know, I'm a computer science bachelor's in college. I think it's complicated because I changed my major like halfway through, but I should be graduating in like 1.5 years. So yeah, I'm a bachelor's in computer science, and I also have a minor in math. And I didn't really have any JavaScript experience. So for the people who aren't into coding, JavaScript is, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS are the languages that you use to make a Chrome extension. And I only really I'm good at Java, and I know a little bit of C and Python, but the point is I barely knew any JavaScript at all. In fact, if you remember, there's this one site, like I used to go on it like 10 years ago. It's called Khan Academy. You probably know it. And I used to do some coding on there, and that's how I got some programming experience in JavaScript, but I forgot pretty much all of it. And other than that, I knew almost no JavaScript at all. So let's see. This summer, actually no, let's not talk about that yet. The inspiration for it. So there's this extension called Tong. I don't know the tones, but it's this. I'll put the words on the screen. It's a Chinese extension, and what it does is that it hides or converts simplified characters into traditional characters and vice versa. So I think it's really useful. So actually, let me just pull it up right now. Okay, I have to log in, but whatever. The point is, I really originally wanted this extension to be where if you look at right here, then you click this extension and it automatically changes the simplified characters into traditional, and it changes it back when you click it. And that's kind of the inspiration of this extension, because originally I didn't even want the extension pop-up to show up. When you click an extension, then you have that page that pops up. I didn't even want that in the first place. I just wanted it to be simple. You just click that button and then it hides all the definitions, and you click it again, and then it shows all the definitions again. That was the original intention, but if you remember 8 months ago, time flies, but if you remember Hulk or Cole, I did a video interview with him on his Spanish, he has really good Spanish. I kind of sent this extension over to him while I was making it, just so he could give me some feedback on it. And he was the one who originally gave me the idea to be able to click on hidden definitions in order to show them. Because originally I just wanted it where every single definition would get hidden or shown. But he gave me the idea to click on, hover or click on definitions in order to show them. And that change proved to be very, very useful. I'm really glad he sent me that advice. Originally, I wanted this extension to be called word reference tweak, or I think even the original name for this was hide native text for word reference, but that was just way too long and it was kind of cringe. So yeah, I think I was deciding between word reference tweak, because if you have the extension already, then you'll know that there's a lot of other features. The copy button took up more time than the actual hiding of definitions for coding. So yeah, I wanted this to kind of be known as the ultimate word reference tweak extension. But in the end, I decided on the name Monolingual WordReference, because even though it does have other features, the monolingual part of this extension is really the overall core of this idea. And I don't I don't want to name an extension off of an idea I got later. I want it to be like the original idea, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Right. So during the summer, which is by the time you're seeing this video, this is summer 2022. I wouldn't call it vacation, but I went traveling to New Mexico and I did some research project. But anyway, the point is, I spent about 6 to 10 hours a day for an entire month working on this extension. And I did more work on this extension than I did on my research project that I did in New Mexico. So yeah, it was like actually 6 to 10 hours a day. And technically, maybe I consider it even 5 weeks instead of a month. Mostly working within my dorm and within my office. And it's really lets you know, like when you grind at something for a lot of hours in a day, you can get a lot of stuff done. And if you put your mind to it, you can really, like if you just put in the hours a day, then you can get through a lot of stuff. It's really crazy. If you just study for like 6 hours a day, then, or 6 hours a day or more, then you can get a lot of progress in a relatively short amount of time. So yeah, I was doing 6 to 10 hours a day for a month, and by 11 days in, I had the main copy button, or the toggle button, and the copy button working. So when you press the toggle button, it hit the definitions, pressed it again, then it went back. And the copy button was so annoying to get working because it has to change positions based on where your mouse is. So yeah, by 11 days, I had both the toggle definitions button and the toggle copy button working. And basically the rest of the 25 days was just working on, well, other features, including the order and like making sure you got all the text elements working and the order working, and just working on bugs. So there's this really annoying tab switching bug. So I'll go ahead and where is it? This one. Okay. So let's open up two things here. So if I do, okay, so notice how the text is hidden for both of these pages, right? So this is tab 1, this is tab 2. So on tab 1, text is hidden. Tab 2, I click toggle. So then, this works fine. But so that the text is hidden on this one, but I'm sorry, I'm screwing up. The text is hidden on tab 1. On tab 2, it was hidden. Now I set it to unhidden. Now if I go back to tab 1, notice this. I have to click toggle native text once and then click it again in order for it to work. For some reason, I don't know why this went to defined. That's probably a bug I need to fix. But yeah, and yeah, there are some bugs. If you something you should realize is that while I was making the 3-minute overview video, literally when I was recording the video clips for that, I came across 2 bugs that I had to fix. So yeah, there still are bugs for this thing, and you do have to click it. But yeah, back to the point of the 2 tabs. You do have to click this button 2 times, and I just cannot figure it out. Probably because I'm new to JavaScript and like Chrome extensions, but I just can't figure out a way to just make it so that each tab has its own memory. And originally I had I should go back to the main screen. So yeah, originally I had it so that there would be like a slider. So like you would press the slider for toggle native text, it would go, and then you'd press it and it would go back. And the point is that you could actually see on the extension pop-up whether it was enabled or disabled. But because of this stupid tab glitch, the slider would basically get inverted. So just imagine an inverted slider for a minute, and that would have been so annoying to have. So I mean, originally, or another one of my plans was to have the button change color based on whether it was enabled or disabled, but I just didn't want to have it because it'd basically be the inverting of the colors if you had that tab glitch. And I don't know how to fix it. And the good part is that this extension is completely open source, and it should always be open source. And if you know any solution to this problem, then please let me know. You can feel free to download the code and mess around with it for yourself, even though the code isn't the cleanest. Yeah, if you think you have a solution to that problem, please just let me know. All right. Oh, so force save. So I keep forgetting which one it is. This one, right? So if you notice on the other, I don't have my glasses on, order tab, there's this button called force save down here, and you think, why do you have to have a button to force it to save? Well, it's because I don't know the name of this, but whatever system you use to like drag stuff up and down, there's no way for me to know the order of the rows, because like when you click check or uncheck, then it shows you it saves it whether you click check or uncheck. But if you move a row up or down, I have no way of knowing which row it is. And this is a big problem, because when you close out the extension and go back into it, then how am I supposed to know? Like, you have to replace the HTML, or like you have to replace the variables every single time the extension is closed out or closed back. So the reason for the force save is that there's no way to know. And it does save, like if you move your mouse outside of the text box like outside of this area, then it saves it automatically. But still, like it's kind of iffy, and it's just kind of scuffed. So you can just use this force save if you really feel like if there's somehow a glitch where like it doesn't save, then just use the force save. So I guess the future of this extension is to make the ultimate word reference tweak extension, and I guess I'll be adding like more features in the future. And yeah, so for future projects and future additions that I want to add is copy audio. So at the top of every definition,
Amigo.
that was probably really loud. Yeah, so there's this audio button where you can hear the audio of this on most definitions. And what I wanted to do was that I wanted to have this copy button appear. I wanted to make the audio copyable, basically. So you could put it in like an Anki card or something. I wanted to have like the audio as a setting right here so that it would appear in an Anki card. But I just couldn't figure out a way to like copy the audio through the HTML. So yeah, that's something I'll probably be working on in the future. But yes, stay tuned for that. Oh, also a feature for Google Images. So I've noticed that putting images inside my Anki cards really helps with memory, especially like having text on the front and image on the back, or even having like a double-sided card where you have an image on the front and text on the back. That's even better. But if you have an image on the front and text on the back, remembering that image is very easy, or much more easier to remember than through text. And I do search up terms sometimes. If I don't know it in English, I'll just search it up and put it in my Anki card. But what I really wanted to do was have like a definition, an image from Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever your browser is. Have an image show up like next to each definition, and then have those copyable. So you could basically see an image whenever you looked up a term, and you could have copied it into Anki or whatever software you use. I haven't looked too much into that. I did look a little bit into it, but yeah, I'll probably be working on that in the future too. So hopefully I can get that working. Oh, and then another feature, I came up with this feature at like 2 a.m. It's called gender coloring. So what I was thinking was basically, actually no, you should know something before. So you see this NM and NF right here. So there's this feature within the copy button where you can generate definite articles, and instead of copying amigo and amiga, it'll copy el amigo and la amiga. So it'll do this. It'll add the definite articles for Spanish, French, Italian, and Portuguese. More languages will probably come in the future, but it only does it for those languages right now. But the point of the NM and NF here is that I can know the gender of the words. And in the future, I was thinking about like physically changing this text to like blue or pink based on whether it's masculine or feminine. and that way it'll just be easier for you to get the gender. Or maybe if you can even make that change into Anki. If you could like have blue words and pink words in Anki, then that would be really cool. So yeah, that's another feature I'm thinking about adding in the future. So yeah, I think that's all the bullet points I want to go over. If you like this extension, feel free to share it with other people. And it really does help because, you know, the more people that use it, that's more feedback that I get, and that's more ways that I can improve the extension. So, I mean, the end goal is that more people's learning can be accelerated. So yeah, if you like this extension, then please share it with other people. By the way, if there's a really popular dictionary that could also use this monolingual feature, then please let me know about it. I'd be happy to make an extension for it. Like the video if you like it, and if you disliked it, then tell me in the comments why you disliked it. It's not like you can see the dislike button anyway, right? If you like my content, feel free to hit the bell and hit the subscribe button first and then hit the bell so that you get notified when I upload new content. Also stay tuned because for 1,000 subs, I'll be doing a setup tour. It's going to be super epic. See you guys in the next video.